Despite the experts' staunch belief that human flight was a fantasy, the Wright brothers defied the odds and shattered age-old perceptions. What they lacked in credentials, they more than made up for with curiosity, persistent tinkering, analytical observation, practical mechanical skills, and sheer determination. George Bernard Shaw captured their spirit in his play Man and Superman. He said, "The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man." Shaw grasped an essential truth. Those who thrive within the current rules, reasonable people, are not the ones who steer us to new horizons. Breakthrough progress comes from the unreasonable, those who won't fit the mold, who see a different world and bend it to their will, the pattern breakers. My job is to back unreasonable people who have unreasonable ideas long before the rest of the world believes in them. For the past 2 decades at the venture capital firm Floodgate, I've invested in pattern-breaking founders and their pattern-breaking startups at the very beginning of their journeys. Today, Floodgate is known as a pioneer and leader in the niche world of seed investing. I co-founded Floodgate in 2005 and helped define seed investing as a new category in venture capital. Unlike traditional investing, seed investing often involves backing just a couple of founders with an idea, or possibly an early prototype, with virtually no customers or historical financial information. Our venture team has been fortunate to be the first investors in and to work at the earliest stages with some of the most dynamic breakthrough startups of the last 2 decades. X, formerly known as Twitter, Twitch, Okta, Lyft, Rappi, and many others have become household names or critical to the operations of major corporations. Sadly, I've passed on more than a few breakthrough companies too. I'll discuss that a bit later. As seed investors, we have a very specific risk profile. We typically lose all our money in most of our investments, pinning our hopes on the occasional massive payoff when a startup is wildly successful. Investing into a startup isn't like investing on Wall Street, where you can buy or sell at any time. Once we invest in an early-stage company, we stick with it until it is acquired by a larger company or goes public on a stock exchange. Each investment journey can take several years, and there's no off-ramp in the interim. Due to these factors, seed investing is deeply personal to me. I often say I invest in people I'd gladly get in trouble with, because trouble happens just about every single time. I pride myself on being more than just a financier. I'm a co-conspirator with ambitious founders in their rebellions against the status quo. The breakthrough startups we have backed were all led by pattern-breaking founders who challenged conventional wisdom and convinced others to embrace a radically different future. They achieved this through a combination of pattern-breaking ideas that were radically different and pattern-breaking actions that persuaded the rest of the world to think, feel, and act differently. Pattern-breaking ideas offer something radically different from anything that's come before. At first, these ideas can seem crazy. Why would anyone stay in a stranger's home? Yet Airbnb proved they would. Why would someone catch a ride in a stranger's car? Uber and Lyft, having dispatched tens of billions of passenger rides, answered that question. How could 140-character tweets ignite the most explosive media revolution of the last 2 decades? X, formerly known as Twitter, with its simplicity, transformed the media and the public square. Despite the initial strangeness of these transformative companies, their very uniqueness gave them enormous strength. They eluded the comparison trap, for there often was no precedent to measure them against. Instead of besting their rivals, they stood alone. Throughout this audiobook, you'll hear why better ideas aren't enough. Remarkably different ideas are essential for achieving a massive impact. While pattern-breaking founders envision a different future through their ideas, that's not all there is to it. They must pull others along with them to make their ideas real, asking the world to leave the known for an unsure tomorrow.